When Mark opened the door that chilly October evening, he didn't expect his life to change forever. Standing in front of him was a young woman, shivering slightly, a backpack slung over her shoulder, and eyes filled with something he recognized all too well, uncertainty, and a quiet kind of hope. He was just a single dad trying to make ends meet. She was a college student looking for a room. What neither of them knew was that this simple arrangement would unravel secrets, heal old wounds, and prove that kindness has a way of circling back when you least expect it. Before we dive into this heartfelt story, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if this story touches your heart. You're watching Kindness Lights, where we bring real, emotional, and inspiring stories to life. Let's spread some goodness. Together, Mark had been struggling for a while. His wife passed away 3 years ago, leaving him to raise his 9-year-old daughter, Lily, alone. Bills were piling up, his hours at the warehouse had been cut, and the house, though full of memories, was becoming a financial burden. He didn't want to move Lily away from the only home she'd ever known. So, he decided to rent out the spare room. Just enough to help with groceries, the heating bill, and maybe give Lily a few extras, a dance class, or new shoes for school. The sign went up on a Thursday. Room for rent, written in plain black marker. He didn't expect much. Just hoped the right person would come along. On Saturday, she knocked. Her name was Emily. A freshman at the nearby university. Polite. Soft-spoken. Dressed simply but neatly in a red sweater dress. She held a notebook and smiled gently, asking if the room was still available. Mark hesitated. Not because there was anything wrong with her, but because something about her didn't add up. Her eyes looked older than her years. Like she'd seen more than someone her age should have. But she didn't flinch under his quiet gaze. Instead, she said, "I can pay on time. I'm quiet, clean, and I really just need a peaceful place to study." He showed her the room. It wasn't much. Just a small space with a bed, a desk, and a view of the backyard where Lily liked to play. Emily looked around and smiled. "It's perfect," she said. And just like that, she moved in. At first, things were quiet. Emily kept mostly to herself, disappearing early in the morning and returning just in time for dinner. She offered to help with chores, cooked once in a while, and even helped Lily with her math homework when Mark was too tired after work. She fit in. Like she belonged. Lily adored her. "She's like the big sister I never had," she told Mark one night at bedtime. Mark noticed how Emily always said thank you. Always offered to help. But there was something she never talked about, her family. One evening, over spaghetti and meatballs, Mark finally asked, "So, where's home for you?" Emily paused. Then softly said, "My dad and we don't really talk anymore. Haven't in a long time." Mark didn't push. He understood broken families too well. They sat in silence for a while, and then Emily said, "But this feels like home." Months passed. Winter melted into spring. Life found a rhythm. Then, one rainy Sunday afternoon, Mark went to drop off some towels in Emily's room while she was at the library. He accidentally knocked over a small folder from her desk. Papers spilled across the floor. As he bent down to pick them up, his eyes caught a glimpse of something, a bank document. Not just any document. It had her name on it. And a balance. A balance with more zeros than he'd ever seen in his life. Mark froze. He didn't mean to snoop. But there it was, clear as day. Emily wasn't just a college student. She was wealthy. Very wealthy. He quickly put the papers back and tried to act normal. But that evening at dinner, he couldn't help but ask, "Emily, why are you renting a room from someone like me?" She put her fork down, her face calm. "I knew you saw the document," she said gently. "And I figured you'd ask." Mark looked down, a little embarrassed. I wasn't trying to pry. I know, she replied. But, the truth is, I needed to get away. My dad is a businessman, very powerful, very controlling. When I told him I wanted to live a normal life, go to college like everyone else, he laughed. Said I wouldn't last a week without my privileges. So, I left. Told him I didn't want his money. Just a chance to be me. She looked over at Lily, who was coloring at the table nearby. I found your sign, and something told me this was the right place. Mark didn't know what to say. But Lily spoke first. You can stay forever, she said with a smile. You're my best friend. Emily laughed, wiping a tear. That's the best offer I've ever had. That summer, Mark's truck broke down. Repairs cost more than he had. He told Emily he might need to pick up more shifts, and they might have to cut back on things, maybe even let go of Lily's dance lessons. The next morning, Mark found an envelope on the kitchen table. Inside was $2,000. A note read, "This isn't charity. It's